All right, welcome to Talkin Investing. I'm Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to do an update on Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners in specific. Also, Jerome Powell spoke today, and the Fed did their thing, so I want to go through that and talk about what impact that had on the market as well. So we got a lot to go through. If you're new to the channel, please remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Also, if you could smash the like button, I would appreciate it. It helps the channel out a lot, and it gets this video out to more people. Lastly, if you want to become a member, you can join the channel by hitting the join button that you will see on YouTube. If you don't see the join button, then there should be a link below. Members get some members only content, and we do once a week, we do a members only live stream, so we'd love to see you there. All right, let's start out by talking about what happened today, and then I want to get to the Bitcoin miner big board. It was a rough day for the Bitcoin miners. You'll see the S&P was down 2.5%, the Dow was down 1.55%, the Nasdaq was down 3.36%, and the Russell was also down 3.36%. So those are big moves down, especially in the Nasdaq and the Russell, but everything was down fairly substantially today. And the truth is, we were pretty much even all day long. 2 o'clock, the Fed came out, and they issued their letter letting us know it was a 75 basis point hike. That was the surprise to nobody. So the market actually rallied for a few minutes. So between 2 and 2:30, the market was actually green. Then Jerome Powell came out and he gave his speech. By the time he was done, I believe he delivered his message, which is the same message he's been delivering every single time he speaks. We've talked about it at the channel at great length. They are not slowing down. They did a 75 basis point rate hike. He said 5 different times that he was more concerned about not raising rates enough than he was about raising rates too much. He continuously said if they raise rates too much, they have a lot of tools in their bag to fix that problem. So that is not a problem he's worried about. What he is worried about is if they don't move fast enough, then inflation can become entrenched, and then he may run out of tools and not be able to fix the problem. So his words over and over were, that is the much greater danger. So to me, I took away a 75 basis point hike probably in December as well. The market so far disagrees with me. It's still split about 50-50. I think that speech is going to sink in unless something unusual happens. I can't imagine why he wouldn't do 75 basis points in December. There is no meeting in January. So those are just my thoughts. I don't know what he's going to do. Everybody disagrees with me. Everybody literally around the world is asking him to slow down, including the United Nations and several of the major banks in the United States and other countries. But in the end, he doesn't report to any of those people. And today he made it a point to be crystal clear that he was still very worried about inflation and not at all worried about unemployment. So to me, that's a formula for raising interest rates. Okay, enough said. So, and the end result is the market was down quite a bit. So as a result of that, the Bitcoin miners followed along with the Nasdaq. So if I go to the Bitcoin miner big board, you're gonna see this is basically red. There were a few that were close to break even, but as you get near the top of the list, the larger, more established companies, you're gonna see Marathon was down 10.68% on the day. Riot was down 8.99% on the day. CleanSpark was down 8.28% on the day. It was really 6, 7, 8, 9, 10% across the board today. And that is a much greater move than Bitcoin made. When we get to the Bitcoin chart, you're going to see Bitcoin is moving in a very tight range. But first I want to show you the fear and greed index. The fear and greed index is at 30. So that's in fear. It's out of extreme fear. And if I go down to the chart, you're going to see for the last month, we've been at 20 or above. We've hit 20 3 or 4 times. We've been above that the entire month. And really for the last more than week, since October 26th, we've really been over 30. We've been fluctuating between 30 and 33. So this is the first stretch in a long time that we have not been in extreme fear in the market. So this is the rally that I was anticipating that still has not come. But it is leading to a lot of very sideways activity in Bitcoin at a time when the equity markets are going down, the Bitcoin miners are going down. So the fear and greed index, if you were to measure it for the Bitcoin mining stocks, is much worse than this. I think we are reaching max fear. This definitely feels a little bit different. This downward movement we've had over the last week in the Bitcoin miners, I don't know when capitulation comes, but if you're feeling bad, I think you're not alone. I think that fear relating to the Bitcoin mining companies is really at an all-time high right now, in my opinion. Okay, so for those of you familiar with the channel, this is a chart we've been going through for quite some time now. This chart measures from the low that each one of the Bitcoin miners hit in somewhere in June of 2022. Most of the Bitcoin miners have now taken out their lows from this summer. That's when Bitcoin hit its 2-year low. Bitcoin hit around 17,500 back in the middle of June. There are several companies that have already reported they're in distress, deep distress, and it looks like there may be more to come. In gold, you'll see Bitcoin. It is up 15% off of its lows from this summer. There are only 3 companies now that are outpacing Bitcoin. Those are really the only 3 Bitcoin miners with a substantial hodl position of Bitcoin on their balance sheet, so I think that is no coincidence. Okay, so this chart essentially does the opposite. This measures from each Bitcoin miner's August 15th high to where they are right now. So this is where you really see the Bitcoin miners are big time a leveraged play off of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is now down 20% off of its high from August 15th. If you look at this list, everything else is down somewhere between double, triple, or quadruple that. So there's your leveraged play. I like to look at it usually as about a 3x leverage, but you can see it varies a little from miner to miner. So as Bitcoin is going down, Bitcoin miner stockholders feel the pain on this, and that's why I think the pain is really peaking. This last week with Bitcoin kind of going sideways and the Bitcoin miners following along more with the NASDAQ, which has been in a downward trend, this is maybe the most painful time yet. So I'd be interested, drop in the comments, are you losing faith? Have you already sold your stock? Are you considering bailing? I continue to believe that there's a rally ahead, but obviously this is not financial advice. I can't tell you guys what to do. Only you know what's going to help you put your head on the pillow at night and go to sleep. But if you look at this chart, Core Scientific's down 95% from August. Argo Blockchain is down 88%. GREE is down 83%. So everyone's asking me what's next. I don't know what or who is next, but I will say I'm going to put out a list that I'm concerned about. And I'm willing to say right now, GREE is going to be on that list. So they're down 83% from their highs in August. I will do a separate video on that, but I just make mention of it right now. I mean, you can find your stock. CleanSpark is one I follow closely. That's down 56%. Iris Energy is down 59%. So none of these are really doing well. Again, the top 3, the 3 that are doing the best are Marathon, HUT, and Riot. Those are the same 3 from the last list, but even they are down 42, 43, and 44% from their highs from August. So it is looking very, very ugly for the Bitcoin miners. Okay, so just quickly, I'm going to go through the Bitcoin charts. This is Bitcoin on the 15-minute time frame. As always, there's an orange line where Bitcoin was when the market closed yesterday. So Bitcoin was at around 20,444. You're going to see we followed that line really all the way overnight and all through the trading day. These 2 15-minute green candles right here, this was when the Fed announced at 2 o'clock. So there was a knee-jerk reaction to the downside and then a big move to the upside, and I shouldn't say big. This is all in a pretty tight range. This is all really inside of like a $700 or $800 range, so these are not big moves. So from about 2 to 2:30, the market moved up. Then Jerome Powell came out and started talking, and you can see we pretty much were down in a straight line from there. There were a few moments in his speech where it seemed, there was one moment actually where it seemed like he was opening the door to some encouraging news, but he closed that down pretty quickly in my opinion. Okay, so here's Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame, and you can see we traded this green line down here at 19,200. That was really kind of our mark for about a month. We were trading just above or below that line for over a month. We took a big leg up. We crossed over the pink line, which is just under $20,000. We've been above that ever since. We have not retested that since we've crossed it. So that was exactly 1 week ago. So you can see in the last week, we've had our ups and downs, but we're still trading in a very, very tight range. I'm going to go to the 1 day and this will show it even better. Okay, so here you can see on the 1 day, I have a yellow line. That line starts on September 21st. From September 21st, really all the way to October 29th, we were in an uptrend. Very sideways for most of that time, but an upward trend. We were up several thousand points. It was about a 15% rally. That's not what I was looking for. I've been waiting for a bigger relief rally than that. But you can see now, the past 4 days in a row, particularly today, have been trending to the downside. So what I am hoping is we have this pink line just under $20,000. I would like to see that hold as support. If that can hold as support, then I think it's a possibility that we bounce off that and have this relief rally. However, I will say everything seems to be pointing towards, right now in the short term, a little more downside pressure. But I'm sticking to my story. I think we've long since hit our low in Bitcoin. I don't think we're going to retest. We flash crashed back on Saturday, June 18th. You know, that is a long time ago now, and that was down to 17,600-ish. We've not been anywhere near there since, and like I said, we did do kind of a double bottom right here, and we've moved up from there. So I remain confident that we're going to move up. However, obviously, only time will tell. The Bitcoin miners in the meantime continue to disappoint as far as the performance of their stocks. So I'm going to leave it at that for now, and we'll see what happens overnight tonight, and we'll definitely get back to this tomorrow. So thanks again for watching. Remember, if you made it this far, please subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. Thanks so much. We'll see you in the next video.